Goodbye, campsite. It was nice staying here last night, but I gotta get on the road. This campsite brings me joy every time I come. And so this trip was no different. By the time that I got to camp, I just relaxed and kind of kicked back and enjoyed myself a little bit. But now it's time to head back toward Cannon City, where I'm going to the Mountain House retreat, and I'm going to see some of the ambassadors I haven't seen since last year, and a few that I've never met before, so this is going to be super fun. And of course I'm going to take you guys along with me. I have, I want to say about 3 hours to get there, and it's only about an hour and a half drive, so I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my time and kind of, if I see something, I'm going to pull off and check it out. Oh, but these views, they do not get old. I'll probably come back to this side of Colorado, which is kind of central Colorado, after the Mountain House retreat. So we have more adventuring to do. Right now, though, something is making quite the noise back there. I'll have to stop and figure out what it is in just a little bit. You know, I'm kind of just going with the flow at this point. Okay, since this is going to be a slow meander toward Cannon City, locking the van, we're going to go on a little side trek here. This should be kind of fun. I saw this little lake, and I think we can get there this way, but I'm not sure. So let's see. Okay, let's see. Here we go. And I think we can go down this way. Looks like this is part of a bigger trail system, which was close to our camp, actually. And so we are currently right here. And if we were to take this trail, I believe this is the Colorado Trail. But we're going to actually go right over to this pond area. So here we go. You can kind of see it through the trees over here. I've always driven past and never stopped. And I have no idea why, because it's so close to where I love to camp. So we're going to go check this out finally. It's just a good way to get out and walk a little bit. And if I hit 10,000 steps today, I get to plant a tree. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm doing something called Tree Card, and it allows you for every 10,000 steps to contribute to planting a tree, which I think is a great thing to do, especially out here in the big outdoors. So I'm almost there. It's so beautiful. I will say it's a little bit louder here because the road's literally like right there, but wow, it's so pretty and feels amazing out here today. This is nice. Oh, this was a perfect way to start my day. This just brought me so much joy, just getting out here and seeing this and just standing under the shade, feeling the cool breeze. Oh, there's nothing like it. Nature is just cool, and it's so amazing. And every time I get back out on the road, this is what I like right here. I go to a lot of places. I see a lot of interesting things. I get a lot of brain wrinkles. But at the end of the day, it's the natural stuff that really can just get you going. Anyway, back to the van we go, and then we'll be off to see if we can find more of this today. I hope we can. I hope we can. Of course, before I get going too far, I've got to get some gas, so I'm going to put some gas in and do a little stretch, maybe get something to drink. I don't know. I've stopped off at a Love's in Buena Vista, And so this is always a good place to come. The gas is more expensive here though. It's kind of expensive in Buena Vista as a whole, but it's $4.29 here. But I like this gas station in general, and it's only a couple cents higher than the other places. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. I've never had bad gas from here. That is something I kind of look into whenever I go into a little town. If there's something that has a dramatic difference in price, I usually won't get gas there simply because I'm kind of worried. But Love's is very consistent, so getting some gas. Okay, so I actually just got a text when I was in the store saying we could come a little bit earlier, so I'm gonna get there a little bit before the original destination time. I was gonna take a little bit more time to do it, but now that I know we can get there, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of dart in that direction. We'll still stop off a few places. There's no rush to get there at a specific time, but that makes me happy to know that I won't be arriving too early, because I thought that we had to get there at a certain time to check in, and now they found out that we can be a little early, so that's good. With that said, I am very excited. I just scanned my receipts onto Fetch so that I can collect my points and eventually turn that into gift cards. And I got 25 whole points. Woo! But with that said, it's time for us to hit the road, and just in time, because it's really filling in here. Okay, I told you guys we were going to stop off along the way at different places. So there's this viewpoint, and it's not like a really high altitude viewpoint, but it's a view that is spectacular. Just past Buena Vista as you're going to Salida, you pass the turnoff to go to like St. Elmo and this hot spring that I love, that one day I'll have to take you guys there. It's amazing. And then there's this little pullout, and I was very excited to see this because I've passed it a few times, but it's always looked like there's been construction stuff here, so I never pulled over, but it was empty, so we're gonna go. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. This is actually a part of the Collegiate Peak Scenic and Historic Byway. That's neat. Apparently this runs all the way up to Granite, and then it runs all the way down to down here at Marshall's Pass area. That's really cool. And you know how I was talking about the hot springs? Well, guess what? It has a little bit of information and a historic photo of the Mount Princeton Hot Springs. And it says here that they were first frequented by the Native Americans. That's awesome. Now, it's a bit more noisy out there, but I learned a few things that I wanted to share with you all. For example, the area that we were just looking at, this area right here, this is actually an area that has a right to water. And the way that this works is basically the first person to stake the claim gets the claim, but they have to continuously use the water, otherwise they forfeit that claim. So the people who were first in this area, this farmland here, it has had to be continuously maintained in order to keep the right to the water. And so this has always been a passed down from generation to generation and sold off kind of place where they've always controlled the water. But with that, it also means that if there is some shortage of water, they have the right to it first because they're first in line, which is really interesting. So I thought that was kind of interesting to see. A little bit different than some of the other stops that we've made. There were also some more historic photos and a little bit more about the Native Americans that once roamed this area. So this is definitely a really cool like overlook stop. This is called the Chalk Creek Overlook. So you should stop here if you come through this area. Now, with that said, we have some miles to go before we make our turn off to go toward Cannon City, which I've never been to before. So I'm very excited. I got some things planned for us. I definitely have some plans for us. Another beautiful roadside pull-off. We've passed Salida, and I had to stop. This is amazing. You know, every time I get a chance to stop, I try to, just to take it in. And as everything shifts from like the mountainous areas to the forested areas to the plains, it's just spectacular to see. And here you can really see the shifting of the rocks, which is amazing. Also, it looks like there might be a campground or a pull-off down here, so I'm gonna go up here a little ways and see if there is. If there is, that might be a place I get to stop in the future. And I always try to make a mental note and make a note in my actual phone whenever I find these places. So let's go see. Definitely is a campground, but I don't see a road to get down there to it. So I'm just gonna kind of mark this one in my brain so that I can figure out what it's called by looking at iOverlander maybe, or even maybe the Dirt, because they will have it listed on one of those. But for now, eyes on the prize, I'm back on the road. And this is definitely a twisty, turny road. Yep, that doesn't go to it. That goes to a different place. We can pull off down there too. That kind of could be cool. Let's see. Here's the entrance. So let's go check it out. Okay, it looks like for this one you need a state park pass, which is kind of interesting. So that's something to note. And it looks like they do have some day passes here, so that's cool. They also have a nice map of all of the Arkansas Headwaters Recreation Area, so that's pretty nice too. This is in connection with the Forest Service and the BLM and the Parks and Wildlife, so cool. Okay, we're gonna go check this out now. Oh, wow, this is cool. This is very cool. Ooh, what does it feel like? Oh, it's nice and chilly. That's nice. Oh my gosh. So as I was like exploring this area, I found a sign that says that this is one of the stops along a 10-mile stretch of roadway that we can go on to see a historic tour. So I can't do that today because I do have to get to my mountain house retreat. However, I think I'm going to come back this direction again. And if I do, guess what we're going to do, guys? We're going to do a whole video just about the historic road here. So crossing my fingers, I'm going to make, again, a mental note. And wow, this is beautiful. This is incredible. And I love the fact that they have this little historic pathway. That's really cool. So I think that definitely going to have to earmark this one because it seemed right up my alley. So with that said, time to hit the road again. Almost there, less than a mile to go.